I'm Esther. This is Ethan. So about 6 weeks ago, I launched this personal bot called EstherBot, and it was really just like an MVP to see what it would be like to conduct like a job search with a bot and to have me created in some sort of like persona. I launched it on Messenger, Telegram, and SMS, but mostly it was used on Messenger. There were like tens of thousands of interactions, and so some of the key learnings that came out of that is that structure really helps, at least right now. Having, when I switched from individual messages to where you could like text the response to then actually having just buttons, that made the interaction go way up and people seemed a lot happier with it. I saw that there was this challenge of navigation with the invisible UI, so in this next iteration I wanted to like try to work on solving that. I also felt like integrations were an opportunity. My first version didn't have any integrations, so this one we added some. I thought it'd be fun to keep personality in there, and I put my bot on hired. I created like a summary. I put it at the top of my summary. Hired as a recruitment platform, and I just wanted to see how would recruiters interact with the bot. And 4 out of 5 of the interview requests that I got through that platform alone reference things found really deep down in my bot. And so things related to like values and company culture. So I thought that was like a pretty interesting exercise. So this is going to be version 2, and this time around I did it for someone else. I actually did it for Chris. And so this is actually a ChrisBot. It's true. We were just working on it.
It's 2 days old.
Yeah, it's brand new. We were just pushing. That's right.
Can you guys see it? Is it too tiny? What are we supposed to see? Just the iPhone.
Yeah.
Let me. Is it distracting? Is that bigger?
Cool. Okay.
Sorry, we just ignore all the junk. I didn't really prepare, but we do need the browsers.
Yeah, so we just want to show you the calendar integration. Okay. So.
It's a messenger platform.
Yeah. So when you start to chat, so presume that you found this through probably Chris's Twitter account. Instead of going to his about.me page, you might go to this bot instead. Or from his about.me page, you might redirect it to this bot. Thanks, Ben Brown. So when we get started, it's going to give a little bit of insight about how the navigation works. So we're using emoji as a key for the navigation. This is like essentially your home menu. We've got here about product hunt, which is something that Chris is really passionate about and he uses a lot, and a way to connect with him. And then finally, the last panel is like our ad for being able to capture users and recommend other bots. So let's start with Product Hunt. We did an integration. A lot of people who are reaching out to him because they want him to hunt their product. So this version right now, it goes into a type form, so you can, go ahead and he can capture information and he can hunt your product for you if you want. We want to eventually actually put that into the experience itself, but this is like the first version of it. You can see his recent hunts here.
Yeah, so it's pulling it in live from the Product Hunt API. Can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah, so pulling in from the Product Hunt API, so that's like our first integration, and we kind of see that, for a personal bot, everybody has content on the various platforms, and you'd be able to customize which integrations you select, pull in data from all your different services. She also is showing here the recent comments, so we're also going to pull in, what is Chris commenting on now? Do we lose the video? Do we lose my? Sorry, it's very opportunistic with the sleep. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, these are just a couple of the integrations. Now, I'll hand it back to her. But just a note on the navigation. So Esther came up with a really cool idea of using kind of emoji-based to tag towards the dialogue, because if you noticed, if you've ever used EstherBot, it was very conversational, but also very strict. And if you went off the rails, then it was hard to figure your way back. And so this is a much more dialogue approach, or structured approach.
Okay, so next we can kind of look at the About section. Wow, so many Twitter followers happening, guys. Cool. So yeah, we could dig in further into his history. We're not going to do that. We could look at articles or podcasts that he's appeared in, listen to things that usually these are like, interviews he's done, things he's written. Wow. All right, guys. Clearly I should have turned Twitter notifications off. Okay. We can also go up here to, let's go ahead and, whoops. Let's go back to home. Okay, so events. So we integrated a calendar, his calendar. We had him create like a public events calendar, so to make sure that only the events that showed up were ones he wouldn't mind other people seeing. Kind of an interesting thought here is that you can actually click off to the event itself if you really wanted to, or you could even add it to your own calendar.
So the way the integration works with Google Calendar is it's simply you register a calendar with it for your events, and the events just will auto-populate. And if you would attach an image and a link, it will pull that straight out of Google Calendar. So all you have to do is add an event, and it'll automatically show up for you.
Okay. We're clearly not prepared for this, but this is real life right here. Okay, so the Connect. So one of the things that we thought would be kind of cool, one of the things people really liked about EstherBot was that I could jump in. There was a way to signal, hey, you want to connect directly with Esther and chat with her live. It was really overwhelming though, because people might try to connect with me in the middle of the night, or a bunch of people might try to connect at the same time. So in this version, I've created it so that you can actually schedule times, and it's kind of like office hours on Messenger for Chris. And he has a calendar that connects into this, and so I'll go here and just say, okay, I want to schedule this time when I know Chris is going to be live, and then I'm going to add that to my calendar. And you can see on here.
So you see that she's booked a slot. Now here we actually have the calendars. We have two. So we created two calendars that we've registered with the bot. The events, which you just saw, which pulls in his speaking events. Then we have this office hours calendar, and she just booked the Thursday. So if we go to the what time slot?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday, TT.
Yeah.
So here you can see it's updated with the number of people who have registered for that slot, because Chris can obviously talk to more people than one. And if you actually look inside the event details, we've gone ahead and created a list, and it'll keep appending people as they add. And we can't put their email in because Facebook doesn't allow you to pull the email from the graph yet. And that's one of the things we're most excited about the platform, is opening up more of the graph to developers, because that's where the real power is in being able to connect people. But sadly, that's not possible yet. So we're just using their public name, which is the best we can do. But at least he'll have a sense of how many people he's going to be talking to and roughly who they are.
The other thing we added is kind of this secret admin panel, so we can either type it or we could use a.
Let me bring that back to the front for you.
So the other thing we added is this secret admin panel. You can type in admin, or you could actually use like an emoji lock key. We have a couple of emoji that unlocks it. This is only for Chris. Obviously, he could give access to other people, so I have access to it right now. But this is like a way to manage what's happening in Messenger for you. So we've got broadcasting messages out, a look at the live chats that he has scheduled, and being able to like start a scheduled chat with just the subset of users who've actually scheduled for that time, so that not everybody goes live?
Yeah, so the way it works is when it's approaching the time, he'll get a notification as the admin, hey, you have a scheduled office hours coming up. He'll get the message. He can go to the admin, and when he's ready, he can say start scheduled chat. That will push out a message to everybody who's scheduled, like, hey, Chris is live now, ask him anything, that's kind of the idea, is to be like a more personal, real-time, intimate kind of ask me anything, or people can, use it for whatever case they have, but that's the general concept.
Yeah, and then just some like basic analytics of the number of people who are interacting with your bot. So we'll go ahead and do the broadcast. Right now this just says, how many people are accessing Chris's bot. So I'm gonna go ahead and send a message.
So this is a wide broadcast. When you click on send to all, only 4 people have used it because it's brand new, but this is gonna broadcast wide to everybody.
Yep, so once I click send, it's gonna ask me if I want to add anything else to that message or if that's the final message. That's good enough. And there it is. So it sent out to everybody who's broadcasted to, who is following him. One last thing I will share. So I told you that there's like a little ad component that we have as the last panel in the home. This is in order to capture people's info because we want to keep getting people to sign up for it. We also thought it'd be fun to recommend other people. We're just doing this for fun. Obviously, these people aren't on it right now since this is the first one. But if we had other people, we would go ahead and put their bots, and you could link off to them. As a way of adding personality, we have some like Easter eggs in here. So if you know Chris, he really likes to drink. And so if you send like a cocktail emoji, you'll get a real list from his Bar Notes account, which is one of his very used apps. So yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Yeah, so it's not quite live. It's going to be live in a couple of days. We're just working a few of the kinks. Yeah, and then you'll be able to go chat with it. He'll put it. He'll product hunt it. It is, yeah. That's esterbot.com.
Any more questions?
Yeah, it's going to be Messina bot, actually. Also, I'd like to do a group chat later about personal bots, so anyone interested, we could have a more in-depth discussion.